Hey guys, this is Pete from myjewelrybench.com. Today I'm going to do a piece of jewelry repair. We're going to cover the replacement of a missing Baguette Sapphire in this beautiful vintage bracelet that a customer brought me. This bracelet's probably dating back about 50, I'd probably say 60 or more years. It's a nice piece. It's in good shape. Sadly, along the way, this happened, and we have lost one of the baguettes. So I was able to acquire a new one. It's not cut identical to the original. I think finding an original baguette to match that is going to be darn near impossible. Getting these the exact size as the vintage ones is also very difficult. So we're going to make some adjustments to this bracelet and refit a new baguette into this piece. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos on jewelry and watch repair, please subscribe to my channel. Check out our website, www.myjewelrybench.com. Okay, let's get into it, guys. This one may go in pretty easy, or it may not. So doing a test fit is important. One thing we don't want to do is wedge it too tight. So I know that this stone's going to fit in there pretty good and it's going to stay tight. That's a pretty cool thing. Let's just grab this. Let me show you the shape of this stone in relation to the others. If I can get that there, I'm going to take some pictures. Because the stone I'm putting in this bracelet is just a little bit larger than the opening is, what I want to do is kind of give myself a little bit of space by cutting the pivot on one side. If I can get in here, take a good angle of this. We're going to use a diamond burr bit. I'm going to just kind of cut along one side or the other, either way, and give myself a little bit more space to pop this stone in. And then what I can do is push down the beveled edge over the stone, and that'll hold the stone in place. We have enough gold on the bottom inside of the setting to support the stone so that it won't pop out the bottom, which is always a good thing. And then once this is done, we'll clean it up, polish it, and give the customer a call, have her come pick it up, and I think she'll be very, very happy. Make sure I get the corners good. Okay. Take a brush out any debris. And now let's try to fit this stone one more time. Now this is a straight baguette, so it's only going to go in one way. Let's get that. Let's get this. And what we're going to do is make sure that it sits below that beveled edge. Kind of like that. Now it's in. That's nice and tight. And I want to just use a pusher tool and push that down ever so slightly more. And this tool here, this is for a if you have a bezel. It's a bezel tool. It tightens up the bezels around a stone. And how you use it is you would put that over the bezel and you'd rub ever so gently. Now you can see if we look closely, this has a textured pattern to it. And we're going to redo that once we get this tightened up. So I'm going to make sure that stone's in. There it is. And then I'm going to push down. I'm going to rub. You see how I'm rubbing? Putting pressure in on one side. Then I'm going to go across the next side. And we'll come across one of the other leading edges. And then finally the last bezel edge. And this just pushes down the gold just a little bit. And hopefully we don't lose our pattern, but we get it nice and tight in there. Now I'm going to show you this close up, but I'm going to look at it under the get it in focus. I'm going to look at it under the microscope just to make sure that it's nice and tight. Now that I've pushed the bezel over the perimeter of the stone should be in nice and tight and it shouldn't fall out. Perfectly surrounded, the bezel's holding that gemstone in. Beautiful sapphire, Baguette sapphire. Now, remember I told you that I was going to remove a little, or take off a little bit of that pattern when I use my bezel tool. And we have these neat little engraving tools that will, if we look closely, I'm going to see if I can get this in focus. You can see on this, there's a little wheel here. And that wheel has little, like, pits in it. And it makes the same pattern that we have on this. Now the trick is to find the right pattern on this tool that matches your bezel. And then we have to redo this one because I want to match the pattern. It's actually one size up. So let me pull out the next size. Again, let's get this in focus and we can see that the nice little wheel there. And if we look closely, this pattern should match the same as the beading that's on the bezel. And I'm going to rework that, taking this, and we're going to gently so I'm holding the bracelet in place, exposing the bezel, taking my beading tool, applying it to the edge of the bezel, and let's see if I can get this looking through the viewfinder. Again, just go and apply a little pressure and just go back and forth on the gold. And if I do this correctly, you should start to see the pattern on the bezel, which I've got a little bit of it there. Okay, I did good. So looking at that under the microscope, we can see that we've managed to put that pattern back into the gold bezel. And if we look closely, you can see that now the little filigree pattern that wraps that is in perfect shape all the way around all four edges. That stone is in nice and tight, and I can give the customer a call. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something here. If you did, I'll put a link to the website for a written description of this. Also, I'll be putting in the description links to where you can purchase these tools that I use today, and that's always good. I'm also going to put a link into the description for the microscope I use, so that if you guys do need to use a microscope to get into tight, small spaces, it's always good to have. It also comes in handy for watch repair too, so I'll do a review of that. If you like my channel, please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.